Hey, y'all, and welcome to Roundtable Talk with Tay and May.
Where we aspire to show you no matter what you look like,
Whether you're rocking jeans and Jordans or pearls and heels,
no matter what you've done or what you may still be struggling with,
addiction, promiscuity, drinking, depression, whatever, there is a seat in the kingdom for you. So come on in. We invite you to have a seat at the table as we do real talk, kingdom style. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to another episode 30. Look, sorry, y'all. Look, I am in an awkward position. I'm sitting on the floor. You guys, so welcome to episode 30 of Roundtable Talk with Tay and May. We are excited. We're always excited to come before y'all, but we are extra excited. Tonight, we are, if you did not see the flyer, we are joined by two other beautiful women. And y'all, we're about to have a virtual vision/prayer board party. And so, yeah, we are excited. Ladies, feel free to join us so they can see your beautiful faces. May, yes, hello. Look, and it's funny, like I said, y'all, like I'm sitting on this floor because I got all my stuff laid out. Look, all my supplies and whatnot. So yeah, I'm sitting on the floor. So if you be like, what is she doing? I'm readjusting. I'm trying to stay comfortable. Okay. But yes, y'all already know how we do. Talk to us in the chat. Like I said, we will be doing our vision/prayer board while we are before y'all. So we'll be talking about some of the things, some of our heart's desires, some of the things that we are believing God for, what our vision for our 2024 is. And we want y'all to talk back to us and let us share some of what y'all are hoping for y'all year. So sis, how has your week been?
My week has been great. And today I actually had something amazing happen, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But my week has been very, very blessed. And I'm just so happy that we have these beautiful women here before us and our lovely viewers who have been continuously sticking with us. So I'm just looking forward to a great show tonight. I know we're going to have a real good conversation and some real nice visions set before us.
Yes. So ladies, introduce yourselves. Let everybody know who you are.
I'll go first.
No, go ahead. Yo, go
It doesn't
first.
matter. Hi guys, I'm Selena. I came to join. I started a spiritual journey at the beginning of the new year. So I'm just here to lay out my plans. I shouldn't say my plans, his plans for me. And just kind of put on here what he wants me to see, feel, experience during this year.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Michelle with 1L, and I'm here to do the same, Selena. Make the vision and make it plain, and work towards it. The year to open door, but we gotta go. We gotta go after what we want. So
Yeah. Seriously. Yes. Well, yes. How has your week been, ladies? Before we get started, how has your week been?
Good. Definitely see some test from God recently where I'm kind of like, you started early today. Like, this was you? This was you? Okay. One of the biggest things I've been praying about is just for more patience and just like understanding in difficult situations. Like, I can't change it. And as much as my plan is realistic, it's really his plan. So I can pray about my plan, but my plan doesn't really matter. And it matters to a certain extent, but like he's already figured it out for me. So why
Right.
am I gonna sit here and stress? And I can't even control what happens, and he already knows what's about to happen. So
Listen, one of the things that has been, and I've heard it before, like, and I probably even said it before, but it's so funny because I have never said the serenity prayer so much in my life as I have been these last couple months. Like you said, when I feel myself going to that place, I just, God grant me the serenity.
yeah, and I've been asking him like, what am I supposed to be learning right now in this moment where the devil is trying to peek into my day? And I'm not gonna let him, get a hold of me. But like, what are you trying to show me? To just be calm? Because I can do that. I'm just gonna sit right here and be calm and wait for you to come.
But that's
God,
good that you're going to him and asking him for that wisdom and that guidance during those
Yes.
times, because otherwise you
No.
could have just been steered in a completely different path.
Yeah, and I've been learning too, instead of like that frustration or to like go and like react on it, to just like be in that moment and just pray. Like, God, I don't know which way this is supposed to go, but just show me the way or give me a minute to myself where I can figure this out.
The word he gave me this week was equanimity, mental
wow,
calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially
Mm,
in difficult situations.
yeah.
wow,
Well, there
That's,
you go. That was a
that's
mm,
word
my
meant for
word
you
of
to
the week.
hear.
Yes.
wow, wow, wow.
I'm trying. I'm striving for equanimity. Whew,
Yes, yes.
the tests have been coming.
Listen, the good thing about it is, is I don't know if I heard it on the radio station, somebody spoke it or what. Um, but it was cool because they was like every test of God comes, they're open book. They're open
Yeah.
book test. And I was like, oh wow, okay. And so yeah, like so we can pass all of them. Now we know we're not going to always get it right, but like that right there is so relieving, right? To know that the teacher is going to come over to my desk and
Right.
be like, "Listen, I'm here to help you." Like, oh, matter of fact, it was Christian. Shout out to my church, bro, Christian. That's who it was. Yes, yes, because the reality is, as great as God is, as good as life is, even Jesus, he told us we will experience things here on this earth, but we can take heart, right? We can say, we can be calm, we can still have peace, we can have joy in the midst, because he's like, listen, take heart, I have overcome the world. So, like, I have overcome anything that is coming your way. Like,
Whew.
all you got to do is just John 15 is another one of my favorite ones. Like, abide in me. You remain in me, and I'll remain in you. Like, after that, all is well. So, yes, yes, yes. But ladies, we this show is different, but we are going to keep it the same a little bit. So we always start with our brag about God segment. And that is where we just listen, we just share some way God blessed us this week. Something he did that's like, listen, I just want to share the goodness of God. Let me brag on him real quick, let y'all know what he did. So yeah, we're gonna do that real quick. Then we're gonna hop into these boards because I am excited. I'm excited. I just realized I was thinking like not too long ago before we hopped on. I haven't done a vision board since 2020. Either
Wow.
20, either 2019 or 2020, but it was definitely, I think it was 2020. But yeah, it was like, I'm like, it's 2024. I'm like, that was 4 years ago. Yes, yes, yes. So, sis, you go ahead and start. What is your brag about God
Okay.
moment this week?
This week I gave somebody a book, one of our books, at my job, and she had just been on my heart, and I gave it to her. Surprise, because she went to Africa and she brought me this beautiful bracelet back with my name, and I said I'm gonna give her a book. She called me Wednesday crying. She had finished the whole book. She was like, "You just don't know how that touched me," and I was like, "Wow, it's still doing it." It's like he's still doing it. So it was. He told me to do it, and I did it, and that was the outcome of that. That's my brag on God moment. So Yeah, he just our stories are still touching people.
That's amazing. So real quick, guys. So y'all notice she said our book. So um what was it, last June? Oh my Lord willing, we about to be there again. Last June, Michelle and I, so Diana, shout out to our sister friend and head author Diana Hill. Um, she blessed Michelle and I to be a part of the vision that God gave her. And
Right.
yeah, so I've shared it before, but yeah, we were blessed to be a part to tell our stories in an amazing book called The Other Side of the Storm. So that is what Michelle was talking about. It was her, I, and 6 other amazing women. So yeah, very powerful book. And yeah, girl, like it's amazing. And that's a prime example of like when you hear something like, do this, buy the coffee, do, and sometimes, or listen, it might be turn left, and you might be like, huh?
Yep.
For what? Like that's like that's one of the examples of just do it, because you never know. So we don't know what that woman might have been going through, and you just
Exactly.
heard give her a book,
Yep.
and you handed her that book and you went about your week. And look how however God touched that woman through, pages in the book. So yeah,
Yeah.
listen. So yes, who wants to go next?
We'll let Selena go. She's our next guest.
So I guess it's kind of not personal, but so I've been praying a lot and asking God to just show me little things. So for those who don't know, my oldest son is on the spectrum. So he is developmentally delayed, and I've been asking him like, show me his progress. Like I always sit back and I'm always so amazed by his progress, but I'm always like, like, what was it today? Like, he didn't really do anything today, or he's just being him. Like, so I've been asking for a lot, and it's just funny. Every day since then, he's done something like new or continued to do that skill. So, for instance, it's been now, so at the age of 2, you're supposed to start undressing. Well, he's 3, and he hadn't begun that yet. Now, I called him the other day. He's like taking off his socks, and I'm like, oh, where's the phone? Oh, I gotta record this. I gotta record this. Like, I can't miss this moment. Every day since then, he's been taking off his socks. Just little stuff in his communications, like getting me to understand him. Like sometimes I'm like, God, I tried everything. I've tried everything. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what to do next. But recently things have just been becoming more clear, and I'm like thankful for those little things. And while they might not be big to some people, they're like huge for me. They're very big, and I'm like, that's God. That's God showing me like, oh, he did this today.
Hmm.
He did that today, or he had this progress in school, and I'm just like, yes, thank you for these. Like, it just, it's like having a blanket over you, and it's just like that warm feeling where it's just like, all right, we're gonna get there. And every night I pray over him, and I'm like, we're on your path, so just continue to protect and guide him. I can't ask for anything specific. I can, but like I can't ask for anything specific. Like, just show me what he's going to do next and help me to help him.
Yeah.
So I've been really thankful for those signs, because some days are harder than others. And I'm like, is he ever going to do that? What are his brother and sister going to learn from him? And then I see them playing together, and I'm like, how are you guys even doing that? Are you guys playing a game? Like, I'm interrupting them, and I'm like, you're communicating. You're doing something so good. So it's just a warm feeling. And I'm like, that's nothing but God. Like, thank you for showing me that today. Like, it can go to sleep with a smile on my face. Like, thank you. You did
Yeah.
that for me.
Yeah.
So that's my little brag about moment. He does answer your prayers, and we often miss the sign, and sometimes you just got to look at the small thing that is the sign. We want something big, a brand new door, but sometimes it's just looking out the window in that room that you're in, and it's like,
Oh, girl.
that was it. I didn't need the brand new door. I didn't need the next door yet. I just needed that window opening, or to look out the window and see the sun. Like, so yeah, very thankful for that.
Well, that's truly a blessing. And thank you so much for sharing that with us,
Yeah.
because you might be saying that it's something that's small, but it's just showing you right there how God cares about the finest details of our lives. Like something
Yes.
like your son taking off his socks, where you're thinking he's not going to do that. And
Right.
he's making, like you said, he's taking those small steps that are there. but it's something major because it's something that he hasn't done before. So God's
Right.
showing up in your life with your prayers that you're coming to him for.
Yeah.
And he cares about everything that you pray for. So when you're going before him in Jesus' name, he's going to make it happen for you. So I
Thank
just continuously pray over your family and over your children because I see the progress that you're even posting on your page. So I'm
thank
just proud
you.
of you as a parent and watching your progress just within this
Thank
past month
you.
alone that you've been having in your faith journey. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What you got, sis? You have a brag about God for us?
You ain't do yours. Did you do yours?
No, not yet.
Oh my god. But yeah, so Selena, first of all, I already know. And I'm telling you, those moments, like you said, it may not be big to somebody, but like like those are like tear moments. Like, so
No,
yeah.
that's me. And I always I'm like, oh my God, where's the camera? Because nobody's going to believe me. Or, oh, I'm going to call this relative. And they're going to be like, Selena, that didn't happen. And I'm like, no, it did. It did. It did. He did it. Like, he did it.
Yeah. So it's, like you said, how God will bless us. Like you said. So it's funny because how God is so intentional and how like even when you don't pray something, right, but God hears like the unspoken prayers of your heart, and even like he will give you the things that you might not even know that you need, right? So long story short, I have several nieces and nephews. I got like 9 nieces and nephews, and this past, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday or Wednesday. And you always think about the people you love, for the most part. And you pray for them when they pop in your head. And for those who don't know, I tragically lost my brother last June. And so like for the last couple of days, I have been thinking about my niece and nephew, his kids. And so that morning, and I'm a bus driver, and like I do a lot of thinking when I'm on that bus because like I'm just on the road just cruising. And so like I just kept thinking about it. So I prayed about him, and that was that. And then fast forward, I get home, get in town, and so I'm at the light, that usually I would take straight to go home. Like literally, I was like 2 blocks from my house. Mind you, I'm tired because it was a long day of work. It had been a long week. It was already pushing like almost 7 o'clock. So I'm in my mind, like I already got my pajamas on. And it's just so funny. So I'm at this light. And like I said, usually I go straight. And I'm on the phone and I'm telling y'all, like, I just turned left, like without even, you think about it, but you don't think about it. So like I just turned left and didn't even know where I was going. So I'm just driving down our main highway where we live called Lincoln Highway. And I get like maybe 4 blocks and I see these 2 kids from behind. And I'm like, they look like my babies. And then it's dark. Like I said, it's almost 7 o'clock. And so I'm like, that look like them, but I don't know. So I get a little bit past these kids and I look and it's them. So I tell the person on the phone, I gotta hang up. I just, I see my niece and nephew walking, I'm gonna call you back. So I get out the car, we hug, whatever. So, I'm doing the auntie thing. How y'all doing? Blah, blah, blah. And like you spoil them, right? So I'm like, did y'all eat yet? And they like, no. So my niece had a basketball in her hand. And I was like, did y'all eat yet? And she was like, no, we coming from the park. So I was like, well, y'all want something to eat. So look, a kid ain't gonna turn down no takeout. So it was funny because she was like, so I tell them, I'm like, I was thinking about y'all. So they was like, kids are like, oh, okay. So it's funny. So she's like, can I take on a McDonald's? So I'm like, yeah. So we hop in the car. And again, we're just talking. I'm asking how school is. And again, I'm like, I was thinking about you. I was like, it's just so funny. I said, because, I don't even know why I made a left at the light because they know where I live. I said, I just ended up making a left at the light instead of going straight home. I said, and then I run into y'all. So then my nephew busts out. He's 12. He's like, and while we was walking, I was thinking about you picking us up. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah. He was like, when we was walking, he was like, I was thinking, I don't feel like walking. I'm tired. I just wish somebody would just come give us a ride. He was like, and then you just popped up.
Oh,
My niece, she's in the back of the car, and she's like, and yeah, when we was walking, I was thinking about, I wish I could go to McDonald's. And y'all, I was like, listen, I said, well, kids, what we just saw is how God works, how God is real. I said, because I was thinking about y'all early today. You was walking, wishing you got a ride, and you back there talking about you wanted to go to McDonald's. I said, and look, we all got what we wanted. So yeah, that's my brag about God, because like even after like I sat and I thought about it, it might have seemed like such a small thing, but like really thinking about it, I was like, God, you are so intentional. And it's just it's crazy. And those are those like you said, Selena, it might not be a big thing, but to me, those are really those thank you God moments. Like, because like I said, I was thinking about them, but apparently he knew I needed to see them.
yeah.
So yeah.
That is so nice. That's a beautiful story that you just shared there, because it's like God, he was just showing up not only for you, but also on behalf of the kids, because for them to be able to have that that want, they wanted you at the same time you're wanting them, and then you're answering their blessings. You're like, okay, well, let's go out to eat. You gave them a ride. So everything was just like you said, God was being intentional with the way that you were running into them. So for my brag about God, y'all, it was like an hour and a half before we got on here tonight. So I messaged my sis Tay a few days ago, and I asked for prayer on something, prayer of wisdom, because I'm a business owner, entrepreneur. I sell household products and things like that, and I was renting a location with for the past year, and I recently decided to end my lease with that location, and I have my items at another spot right now. Well, I woke up at like 2:30 a few days ago, and I looked online, and the first location that I was going to go with last year opened back up for me. And I went to go view it again. And like I said, I prayed. I asked other like-minded individuals also to pray over the situation for me, y'all. Well, how about today? They gave me my lease, and I didn't have to pay no extra application fee or anything. They still have my application on their desk from last March. So
Wow.
come Monday, I'm going to be starting to move my stuff in to an official building with a suite number and everything, y'all. So we're getting ready to work some things out. And thank you to the Lord, our Heavenly Father, for giving me that vision, because this is something that I wouldn't even imagine for myself, but he's just been helping me and leading me and guiding me to put myself out there to help the community. And for those people who have been coming to me continuously for your orders and things like that, my supporters, I just thank each and every single one of you, because you're helping keep things going. So I just thank God so much for blessing me in that way, so that I can be a blessing to others, blessing our community. So that's my brag about God. He's just so good in every single way. And I love each and every single one of your stories that you had tonight with your brag about God, because there's so much that we could be bragging about him with, but those are just some of the things that touched us recently. But he's always with us. But God bless you all. And now I think we should get into our vision boards. And I do have a verse to share with y'all about our vision boards. Sis, did you see that verse in Habakkuk?
Oh, the vision. Like, so it's funny because that's
Yes.
the one that is like the vision board verse. Yes.
Yes. I
Yes.
said that is so nice. In Habakkuk 2, verses 2 through 3, it says, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end, and it will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. That's just so beautiful. It's like we see all these people doing these vision boards and things like that, but this is something that we're called to do as believers, especially because, like our core verse says, for I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. He has plans for us. We just have to walk in the footsteps that he wants us to walk in to get there. So part of doing this vision board is helping us to be able to do that.
Yes, and it's so, and of course, like Selena said, ultimately God is in control. Hey, Tara. ultimately God is in control, right? Um, and He has the will for our life, right? Um, Yet there is also power. We have, power. We can, God tells us, speak those things that are not as if they were. What is faith? It is the reality of it's hope, right? So we are allowed to hope for things. God blesses us to have desires, right? And the vision, we can absolutely ask God. Listen, what do I say? Ask, seek, not, God is just not like, no, you're like gonna be what I want it to be. That's not how He is. So it's just amazing because there's a such thing as faith. There is faith. So it's like, what are those things that you believe in God for? Well, listen, pray about it, believe about it. At the end of the day, God, I know that, your will over mine. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There are some things like, think about people in the Bible. There were some things that people happened in people's lives because they prayed, because they went to Jesus and petitioned on their on behalf, or on the behalf of somebody that they love. So yeah, absolutely. And it's like one of my verses is, I believe it's in Psalms 34. So I have a few that I want to put on my vision board, but it says, do good and live do good, and you will live safely in the land and prosper. Delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And so, yeah, absolutely. Like, we can, write things down. And I've heard many people say, like, even that verse, like, there is power in when we write something down, we are releasing it. That's us releasing it, putting it out there. And we don't gotta sway God, because it's funny. I never forget, somebody was like, when we pray about something, it's like, did something ever hit you? And it's like, you feel well, and then you start praying about it. God, I desire this. And it's like, listen, like, God already knew. And so when it's God's plan for you, and then you begin to pray about it, it's no surprise to Him. He ain't like, oh, Selena down there praying for the, like, it was already written. He just had put you onto it, and then it's like you began to pray about it. But they were like, when we pray, only thing we're doing is just, releasing from heaven what was already yours, so yeah.
It's
So
all about the faith. You have to have faith in Him, and that's what He wants us to have. It's part of our relationship with Him, because if we're not going to Him, who are you going to? So we have to have that faith that's there so that He can answer our prayers. That's what He wants us to do. It's part of our communication with Him. Just as if you would talk to one of your friends, as I'm talking to you, beautiful ladies, and our beautiful viewers, that's how you would go to the Lord. You can have that open conversation with Him about any and all things. And even if you mess up in your life, you can still go back to Him, because He never leaves us. We leave Him. So we can continuously just pray and ask for repentance. And the Lord will bless us, and He'll show up in unimaginable ways in our lives.
I've been even made, like, your story made me think about how, don't get discouraged, right? Not saying she was, but don't get discouraged when you are at a stop that not the stop where you may have wanted to be, right? Because sometimes it's just that, like, it could just be a stop. And you see what have you been there for? What is it? How long have you been at the first spot?
The first one, it'll be a year come next week.
Right. So hello, bro. Hey. Listen, shout out to our bro DJ LA. Listen,
we're gonna see you tomorrow, buddy.
I was gonna say, see you tomorrow. Okay, listen, at the Worship Lounge. I'm excited. Listen, got the fit hanging up. Right. So
we're gonna be in Delaware.
I'm ready. Oh, listen, I already know. And if and sometimes you got a plan and you throw it on, you like, nah, listen, I got a couple options. So either way, I'm ready, Eddie. Okay. But yeah, so don't get discouraged, because like she said, the place that she was looking at last year popped up this week. So sometimes you might not be exactly where you want to be, in the location where you want to be. It could be, internally or an external thing, right? It could be a job, it could be just whatever, but like it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. That could just very well be a stop on your way to that thing that you are desiring. So God is just cool like that. But yes, y'all. So what are y'all putting on y'all vision board? So some of my stuff. No, I asked the question. So I'll tell y'all first.
So the first thing I put on mine, so I didn't really have everything together, but listen, we're making it work for what we got. So the first thing I put on mine was a saying here. It says, develop strong convictions. Our convictions, not our circumstances, define who we are. So I feel like a lot of the time, we put so much, I don't know, pressure on ourselves for things that we don't really have to. I feel like a lot of the time we're pressing to be perfect, or where we think we should be and we're not there yet. And I feel like nothing we're going through, and no matter what circumstance you're in, is like the final destination. It's not an end point. And I feel like we just never end. We keep going. God keeps going with us. Our prayers keep going. We get one thing we prayed for. There's a next level to that prayer. There's a next level to that prayer. So, yeah.
And Selena, that actually rolls over into what I was about to put on my board, because I was going to put pray, faith, and God, because like you said, every time you pray, you're going to have another prayer and another prayer and another prayer. So it's all about having that faith and always in God. So we have to continuously stay in prayer.
Yes.
Michelle, what you over there doing?
I'm cutting stuff out. But Nehemiah 8, that the joy of the Lord is my strength. That's my go-to. So that definitely gonna go on there. And I'm just trying to figure this out. But I'm so excited to be doing this. I needed this. I have not done one since, like, well, I did one last year, but this is in February.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so some other things, just some other prayers. And it's cool because like this has caused me to like be Googling vision/prayer boards. And I've seen one of the things that I'm really excited to do, and it remind me. And so I've been praying about a situation in my life, or like these last couple months, and these last couple weeks have really, Jesus, like the fire has been on, and I'm not talking about the Holy Ghost fire. Okay. Um, but I am, being steadfast in prayer. And that is one of, I'm not even gonna say goals, because I don't want to say that is one of my desires. That is one of the things that I'm determined to do, to be steadfast in prayer, because a lot of times I get discouraged, and not even discouraged with God, but just like with the situation, with how things are going. And it's like, before I know it, sometimes intentionally and or unintentionally, like before I know it, I'm just like not even praying about it anymore. But like a couple of weeks ago, God led me to watch War Room. And y'all, if you've never seen that movie, oh my God, like that movie is so powerful. And it is one of like the greatest examples that I've ever seen as far as on screen of the power of prayer, man, like, and what it does, like. And so one of the things I've been seeing on the vision boards is an answered prayer section. And that was one of the things, though, the older woman in the movie, like, I don't want to tell you the movie in case you don't want to watch it,
the
but War Room.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah,
Girl.
yeah.
I love that movie. So on her wall, she had framed, it said answered prayer, and it was just all these, and somebody was at her house and they was like, well, what's this? And she was like, it's my wall of answered prayers. And I think that is so powerful because that is, one, it could be like, wow, God, you did it. Thank you. And then when we have those moments of discouragement, we can go to that place and it even mentally and remember what God has already done. You see
What
what I'm
God,
saying? So
yeah,
I'm excited for that section because I'm just excited to be like feeling it and like, oh, he did this today. Like, and it's so funny because even, looking at my vision board that I did in 2020, I said, like, I can't say when we get done, but it's the near future. I said, like, I know that there are some things on that board that I'm sitting in right now, and that's powerful. Like that's powerful. So um I'm excited about my answer prayer section. Like some of the things I want to focus on is definitely my spiritual walk. I just want to become more deeply rooted in him. Like health, like healthy mind, emotionally healthy, especially in my mind. I'm just gonna be honest, like a healthy mental, I want to get my body healthy, okay? I'm trying to I got a long way. I got time. I don't know about summer 2024, but who knows what the Lord may do? Because, like, listen, He said, listen, if you care about it, then He care about it. So, like, I know I'm gonna have to put some work in to get rid of my little stomach. But yeah, like I want my body healthy. Like I want my hair healthy. Like I cut my hair in 2020, November 2020, like literally short on the top, shave side, shave back. And this past summer, I don't even know what month, I was like, I want my hair back. And so I have been growing my hair back, and it is like keep bringing it back like it ain't never left. So like, yeah, I want healthy hair, like I said, healthy body. So health is definitely on there. Um, you know, yeah.
Well, like we said, he cares about every little detail. And it's funny, some of the things that you were mentioning about giving up, because my next thing that I was about to put on my board, it says, never give up. Never give up. Next thing that you talked about was about healing. And I was about to put Jesus heals all.
Yes.
Because I know I have a lot of little health struggles and things like that, trying to overcome diabetes and stuff. But God, He's even been working through that. So that's just one of the visions that I'm going to put on my board here, because I'm looking to be healed completely. Because I know if He can heal a blind man, He can heal me. So just as He worked in the past, He's working now. So we just have to keep on telling ourselves by faith what our God is capable of, because He can do any and all things. So it's just, we just continuously have to go to Him and before Him, and He makes a way for us all the time.
Absolutely. So it's cool. So first of all, I have to give me credit because like I didn't even know they sold these things. I just was now granted I do have some magazines and stuff. I have magazines, but I didn't even know like on Amazon they literally have books.
a book. Just buy a
Um,
book.
yeah, so vision board clip art. I got the one vision board clip art book for Black women. But they had like so many, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I want all of them. Like
That's how
like,
I felt.
I was like, no, can't. But yeah, so this is cool. This is cool because it has different areas. So it has health, it has relationships and love, family, spiritual, your spiritual walk, success, things like that. Yeah. Like this take care of yourself. Take care of yourself section. And that's something I want to do.
Yeah, mine has all of that stuff too, and some of it has like a church section in there. So, like, if you're believing for your family to have salvation, you can put a picture of your family in there, or a family, and pray over that, because that's something we want everybody to get into the kingdom of heaven. So.
Right.
That's just something, a blessing to be able to put onto our vision board, because we're always praying and believing for somebody to come to Christ.
Oh, so this is cool. So, wow. So there's a part that has like these different, just random cutouts, and at the bottom it says, "Don't wish for it, work for it." And
That's
some
a
of the
good
things
one.
that it says is there's a block that you can cut out, and it's a set of stairs. It says, "Take the first step." Um, there's a woman meditating. Hello, 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 hello. What I see on my end is Facebook user.
Hi, Pamela.
Oh, hey, hey, hey. Um, yeah, so she's meditating by this beautiful lake, and it says stress less, yes, on the agenda. One says, I am creating the life of my dreams.
So
Yes.
for our viewers, if you're just tuning in, we're doing our vision boards. If you're not prepared to do your vision board tonight, perhaps you can do one in the future, but otherwise you can just get a plain sheet of paper and write down some of what your visions are that you see for yourself for this 2024 year. It's not too late to ever do a vision board. So whatever you feel fit for yourself, go for it, because God always makes a way for us.
Yes, listen, you can do a vision board December 30th, okay? I ain't saying wait that long, but it ain't never too late, okay? Look, to make your request known unto God.
And that's the truth.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, but like she said, and that's cool. Yeah, so yeah, feel free to join us. Grab a notebook or grab an index card. If you want to join us and just
I literally have construction paper. We went in the
like,
kids' stuff.
And
You
look
can
how it's
make it work.
turning
You can
out.
make it work.
yeah, right.
You can make it
Look
work.
how it's turning out. Very nice.
Like
It's
and
so funny, Tay, that you invited me to this because I've been telling myself, I don't know, I feel like, I guess let's just say my teenagers, because I did like youth group and all that through middle school, but I guess I got older. I don't know, the cool thing wasn't to be talking about God, going to church, so like I kind of like stepped away, didn't forget who he was, would still pray, but like recently I'm like, okay, I've done the step like myself to start this journey, but now I need to like fellowship and meet other people,
yes,
like sit with other people and talk, and like we could talk about God, we can talk about anything, but like we can have a conversation about God or reflect on like a piece of scripture and like just building up that community. So I was happy. I was like, oh my God, yes, like I can sit and we can talk about God. Like that's okay. Like you can do that. Like you can sit down and talk about him.
right. And so it's funny you said that, Meg. Do you remember when I shared Selena? So it was funny on one of our episodes. It might have been like our first one of our first shows, right? So I talked about how like I was a teenager. So like mind you, me and Derek, we went to Christian school. He was in kindergarten, I was in third grade. So we went to Christian school, went to church. So I knew who God was. Weekends when I went to my mom and papa's house, like, you went to church. They didn't care if one of your ladies came off. You went to church. Like, it wasn't no staying home. Like you got anybody that slept here last night is going to church. Okay.
Gotta get your cup.
And so I knew who God was. So it's funny because then when I got older, I was a teenager. And girl, I was at Exeter Mall when it was still a mall. That was shade. And girl, I got the Kirk Franklin God's Property CD, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, went down to Ash Park, and this is when they had like the sliding board thingy, and you could like get up, and it was like the little tower looking thing. And I remember hiding my CD because people were like coming, like now the park was like people were actually coming to the park, and I hid my CD, and I don't know why, but it was probably because, like you said, like, and I like Kirk Franklin, and like Stop was the jam, but like. It was just like you said, it wasn't cool. Like people were not in school talking about God is cool and like, yo, it just wasn't the cool thing.
No, yeah, and I feel like that's what made me step away. Like I was like, all right, this ain't cool. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's talking about him. I'm not going to sit and talk about him either. Then it's not the cool thing to do. But then I'm like, now that I'm older and I have kids, I'm like, no. What happened?
when we get older, we realize like God is the coolest thing, okay? Like
No, yeah.
coolest thing, like seriously, the coolest thing.
Yeah, no. And it's funny just how he works. Like, so a couple of months ago, my grandmom's actually a pastor. So I was telling her I was having these car problems. Check engine light came on. She came out with her holy water. And I'm like, what kind of spell? What you about to do to my car? And so she's out there praying. She's marking up the hood. And I'm like, what in the crazy? I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, just pray. So I'm sitting there and I'm praying with her, though. I'm like, all right, mom, da da da. And I feel like these are stories that you only hear or you see in like movies or video clips. Literally 2 days later, no light, car fine. And I'm like, okay, a little spell worked. Did she say no spell? That was just prayer. Since then, a different light has come on. I'm like, God, come on, just I need you to get me at least into my inspection. Then I will make everything will be better. Everything will be fixed. And every time something comes on, a day or two, and I think it's like he's testing me, like, are you about to get in shambles? I want to see if you get in shambles. So I'm gonna turn this light on, and then like 2-3 days later it's off, and I'm like, all right, I got you. So recently, every time something comes on, I'm like, you know what? I already know it's gonna go off. I already know you're gonna answer my prayer. So I'm not even about to stress about this. I already know you're gonna turn it off. You're just trying to test me and see how much I worry or make it bother my day. And I'm like, not today. All right, it's on. I'm safe. I'm all right. I'm okay to drive. Protect me as I drive. Protect the other drivers because sometimes it's not always you. It's the other people on the road. So I'm like, it's all right. Go ahead. Turn 50 more on if you want. Let me knock on wood. Don't do that, guys. I don't need that yet. but yeah, it was just so funny. And I called her like a couple weeks later. I'm like, I don't know what you did to my car, but like there's nothing on anymore. And I'm like, those stories, I feel like when I was younger hearing them, I'm like, that didn't really happen to them. They made that up.
Yep.
Selena. So it's funny because I say all the time, right? So like you said, when you're younger, like you think they're just being so extra. You know, like, and one of the things, like, it's not funny because I am so big on, and like me and my brother, we used to like, we've got into it like a few times. We had got into it a few times, but like what we listen to and what we watch, right? Yep. And like now I know that like it's not just a song, it's not just a movie. Like I remember back in the day, like my auntie and I was like, oh my god, like you just think something about everything, like oh my goodness, like so the song, okay. Like, you know, but it's like it's real, like
and when it happened to me, I was like, wait, this is God, like like this is who I've been waiting to see and meet and actually do something in my life. And when it happened, I was like, nah, this was the stuff in church they used to talk about, and I was like, he ain't do that. You went and got your car fixed, and then you tried to come in here and say that.
Trying to be right. And it's so funny because, like I said, it's just like I can think of so many things. Like, why he tells us like guard our eyes and guard our ears, because like, so think about this, right? And so real quick, if y'all wondering like what in the world I'm doing, I'm sitting on the floor doing my vision board. Yes, we're going just going to do this. So like, if you're like, what is she doing? But yeah, sitting on the floor. So yeah, like prime example. This is how you know that like what we taking is serious, good and bad. So why, when we were kids, you watched a scary movie? Why did you have a dream? Why did you have a nightmare? Because of what you watch. So that just goes to show us how it affected us. Like, so we watched Freddy Krueger, or then we went to sleep, and that mess done popped in our dream. So how do you explain it? If listen,
that's funny that you said that, because last night in a small group we talked about stuff like that, like what you watch and what you listen to, what you take in, who you surround yourself with. All of that starts coming out of you because it starts getting to your heart, and then that's part of your mind. So you just have to be mindful of those kinds of things. So
I started reading books in the new year as well, and I can't remember which book it was, but it was basically like you wake up and the first thing people do is hop on social media. But now your day is affected by the post you read or this or that. So now the first thing I do when I wake up, I click on my Bible app and I read the verse of the day. And then I'm like,
Yes.
all right, now I can, I've been in the presence of the Lord already this morning. I've prayed. Now I can open up the other stuff. And you know what? Johnny and Susie's problem, I'm sorry you're having them. And I'll pray that they get fixed. But they are not my problems. I will not take them on because they are not mine. So release me from anything that I read that I can't control.
Let's put on the full armor.
Listen, that the full armor of God. So yeah, like that is so like you said, just Selena, something as simple as social media. Again, just what we're seeing, right? So somebody could have woke up and they was feeling good this morning, but now you get on there and you see something, somebody else's accomplishment or somebody, now you're feeling a certain way about yourself. Now you're, and like, where did that all because of something you saw, right?
Right.
So what we got to understand, like, one, the mind is a powerful thing. And again, what we take in, just like, so on a positive note, like you said, so when we wake up in the morning and we like, listen, God first, right? We're setting the tone for our day. So it's really about like, so how you want your day to be today.
Right. Yeah.
Not saying that like our day is going to be problem free, but I never forget one of my church sisters, like, and this is so real. Like, she was like, I can tell, my day when I woke up, took some time to spend with the Lord, and then went outside and dealt with people, just dealt with outside, dealt with life. She said,
Right.
the morning when I didn't, because the morning you spend time with God, you get out your car, you go to Wawa, you hold the door for somebody. They don't say thank you. You like, oh, okay. But carry on. All is
Yep.
well. God bless you anyhow.
Yep.
Or the rude cashier. It's like you're able to show grace. You're able to be compassionate. Hey, you never know what happened to her this morning, blah, 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 whatever. You're just different. Now, the morning you don't, I'm
Watch
straight
out.
out before you left the house. Now you're looking at the girl while like, are you okay?
No, yeah. It matters. It matters. I told
Yeah, it
myself,
matters.
people ask me all the time, like, how do you find time? And I'm like, listen, I got 20, if I got 20 minutes, that's what I got. I got 20 minutes to read, reflect, and pray. That's all I got. If I only got 10, that's fine too. Like, you just, everyone loves to say, I don't have time. I don't have time. But you make time for the things that you want. If you want a relationship with him, you're going to make the time to have a relationship. You want that body, that summer body, you're going to make the time to have it. It's no excuse. Like, you find time, just like with people, you find time to text or talk or call. So definitely finding the time. Hi.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
so true. And always, like Pamela said here, God always first. Like when you give him the first of your day, watch how amazing that it is. Watch how he'll protect you. Watch how he'll bless you. He will do everything for you.
No,
It's just
yeah.
we have to make room for him, and he handles the rest for us.
Yeah.
There's no formula or anything like that at all. It's
Nope.
just give God time, give him your prayers, go to him in faith, and he works everything out for us, regardless of what the situation might be. We might look at things as being impossible, but we know he makes all things possible. So just continuously keep making that little time that you have for him. And that 5 minutes will eventually turn into 15 minutes.
No,
You'll find yourself throughout the day starting to pray. You'll be like, oh, here I am praying again. That's what he wants us to do.
Yeah, no, I find
Every little
myself
thing
doing that now too, like in the car. I'm like, oh, this is perfect time to talk to him or worship him or pray. Like, I'm in the car by myself, just cruising. Yup.
Listen, the car is my place. Like,
Yes.
the car is my place. Like, seriously, that's my place.
It's really my zen, like, especially on Sundays. Usually I go to church with my client. Recently we haven't been going, so I'm like, all right, I got 30 minutes. I'd be like, God, 15 of it is yours. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna pray right now. but God, now I got to switch over right now because I got to, get my Zen together for the day. And it's funny, I always laugh, and it's always like the transition into my next song is like something powerful, or, like just something where I'm listening to lyrics and I'm like, oh, he wanted me to listen to this song now. Okay, now we're going to keep going for the work day. Like, but
No,
yeah, no.
and like, and I'm glad you said that. Like, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 15 minutes, right? Like, because I remember, so I gave my life back to Christ. Because I got baptized. They had me baptized as a young kid. And so I got rebaptized as an adult on my own when I was 27. And so, I'm going to church and I'm watching and I love it, and I'm like really serious. But I'm watching people pray these elegant prayers, and they're up there and they sound so fancy, right? And I remember literally thinking, like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know, like, or when I'm at home and I'm like, I don't do it right. I don't sound like, that's not how it sounds.
That, no.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
I mean, I felt like that for a while, right? And so I just thought I was doing it wrong. I thought there was
right. There is no way.
There is no way. The only thing, pure heart, like sincere. That's it.
People don't get that though. People want to be like the pastor. So I actually listen to anybody who has Pandora or whatever. There's a podcast called Girl and God, and she talks about basically like, oh, we go to God and we're like, oh, Holy Father, and in the podcast she's like, girl, what are you doing? That is not you. You have to go to God how you are. So like, it's funny, once I heard her say that, my first prayer after that, I just sat down and I was like, look, we friends. I know we friends. I don't know what I'm about to say or how this is about to go, but I'm gonna just start. And you just talk, and people think it has to be an elegant or formal thing. Like, no, you can just sit down. God, I invite you into this space. I'm struggling. I'm dealing with. I need this. I need that. And like, it's just, you just talk like you're talking to someone who's in front of you. And a lot of people want to be elegant and formal, and there is no elegant or formal. There is no guideline to a prayer.
Like, bro, you don't come this right now.
Listen, y'all.
I know you see me. Help me. I'm
stuck. Listen, Michelle, you just made me think about y'all. And this was like one of the realest prayers I ever prayed. Like, and you pray for your kids and for health, and like May said, salvation. Yep. Like, yeah, they real prayers. But I'll never forget years ago when I tell you somebody was playing with me. I literally said, God, listen. I said, I don't know what's going on, but you already know your daughter don't do too well in these type situations. Like, straight, like I said, so please. And like, we can be real with God. Like, and like Selena, like you said, once we discover that, and so even for, not just to happen to be elegant, but like I said, me thinking I was doing it wrong. Like, some people don't talk to God because they feel just like that. Well, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know, or I just finished doing this, or God don't want to talk to me. I'm too bad. Like, listen, God loves you. He's right. Not taking for granted, but God do not care about what you just did 5 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? I never forget. Her name is Shawnee Ladorn, and powerful young lady in God. Well, young woman. And to me, like, it blesses every need to see anybody in Christ, but especially other young people. Because Selena, like you said, even when you're an adult, like I remember, like I got rebaptized when I was 27, and I remember I was like, fast forward, I'm like 30. 33, 34, 35. And I remember, I'm like, God, this is lonely. When you out there doing this and that, like, I'm like, I felt like I was surrounded. I felt like nobody want to hang with me. My phone dry. You know what I mean?
That's me.
I was like, what in the world? And I even remember seeing and thank God I ain't fall for it. But I was like, how easy was it for, all you had to do was have something, you and somebody else have something in common. Oh, they drink. Oh, girl, you want to go get a drink? Y'all ain't really know each other like that, but y'all got that little and don't think I'm saying anything, you know, to each their own. But I'm just talking about me. Like I remember I just felt like I was surrounded all day long. I'm talking about early in the morning. We was waking up to do it. We was going to sleep to do it. And I'm just like, now here I'm sitting at this table, going to church on Sunday. Don't feel like I have a friend in the world. But this is a prime example of God cares about everything that we care about, because I remember praying for friends. I prayed for friends. And like you said, Selena, I remember saying exactly what you said, the like-mindedness. I was like, God, send me a circle of us. They don't have to be perfect. I said, but please send me a circle of women that we can grow together with, God, in you with. I said, and we are just like-minded. They're just trying to do what the same thing I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly. But like, God, I'm trying to live a certain way, and send me people who are striving to do the same.
No, yeah. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to step out of their comfort zone, not realizing like to be comfortable, you have to get uncomfortable. Like I even just like even joining this is like me, like, oh my God, someone's gonna replay and I'm on there talking about God, but I'm like, I stepped out of my comfort zone the other day and I like joined like a silent reading club that's gonna meet like once a month. And I'm like, I have no idea who any of these ladies are except the lady Brent. Like, you know, but I'm like, I'm gonna go. Like I'm gonna like whatever. Like I don't care if it's not cool or whatever. Like I want to go because I want to sit and read my book. And there's other women who are gonna sit there, read their books. We're gonna talk. We're gonna fellowship and like, all right, why not?
I'm
I'm so
telling you, it's a game changer, because I don't like I say it often. I'm like, listen, you know, it's cool having friends that y'all can go to the nail shop, y'all can walk around the mall, you know, y'all can, you know, do the girly stuff. I said, but when you got friends where y'all can do that and y'all praying together and y'all reading the word together, and you got friends who you got something going on and you can send a text and be like, listen, I need you to pray. I said, man, listen, that to me, like, that just, I'm telling you, like, I'm like so thankful, God, that you had me in this place, because I even think about, you know, like when I was younger and we just didn't have a clue. And I ain't even talking about younger. I'm just talking about like 20s. I did not have a clue. So I'm even like, you know, that prayer thing and how we pray for one another, right? And no, we're not perfect. We're not a perfect group of women. You know, we are all flawed human beings in Christ and out of Christ. You know what I'm saying? It just now, look, we are sinners who have been saved by the grace of Jesus, right? And everybody can be. Um, but I'm like, it's such a beautiful thing, right? That now I actually have something to offer my friends. So, you know, back then I remember whether it was a breakup, whether it was trauma, whether it was tragedy, like, you know, we was, you know, if it was a heart, we was sitting around listening. All I could do was turn on the Mary J. Blige CD and hand you a cup. And you know, and watch you cry like, God, forget him. Ain't nobody worry about him. Another one. And now, you know, or, you know, even when it was something serious, you know, I remember y'all even down to, you know, death. My resolve, I had a thing I ran to. That was my coping, you know. If I was hurt, if I was sad, if I was mad, I had a thing that I ran to, a substance. And, you know, that was my thing. And so, like I said, you know, that's okay. Well, Doran, you said, oh, come on, let's. But I said, now I can pray. I know to pray. I know to pray for myself. I know to pray for my friends. Like I'm not giving them an offering and they not offering me temporary copings and temporary fixes. You know, like we are effective in one another's lives. And like seriously, like I'm so grateful for it. Like I'm so grateful for that.
And going back to what you were saying, Selena, about being put in uncomfortable situations, that's actually where you end up growing at and where you flourish at with the Lord, when he puts you in those uncomfortable places, because you're going to be set apart and stand out to other people. and learn yourself and find yourself. And he's going to show you and lead you and guide you in every single way that you need to be led in. So that then when you do come back to those people who were looking upon you, that you, or even that you thought were looking upon you for talking about the Lord, you can show how he changed you, because you're being transformed into who he wants you to be, not who they want you to be. We can't conform to the world. We have to go by what he's telling us to do. So when you're setting yourself apart like that, you're actually going to grow, and you're going to show yourself and amaze yourself at how powerful you're going to be, and how you're going to be able to talk to people freely about how good God is to you, because he's going to show up in amazing ways. And it's already starting just by what you were saying about your children, and how he's working that out for your son who has his challenges, because we won't say that it's a setback for him, because he's made in God's image, and God's using your son to help you grow closer. So you just keep hanging in there, and he's going to use you.
Thank you. I know I never realized how much of an impact, like even little things or little gestures you do for people, like at the Wawa, like she was saying, oh, you hold the door open. That can make somebody's whole morning. Somebody
Yeah.
could have had a whole thing and you held the door open and said good morning. And they're like, good morning, like, okay, yeah, it's going to be a good morning. Like, so yeah, just those little transformations that you see that like we don't even see the impact that we are on other people sometimes. Like I'll have moms message me, they're like, admire you, and I'm like, admire my hot mess? Okay, thank you. Like everyone's like, how do you do it? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, I couldn't even write a book to tell you how I do it. Every day is different. Like I literally just wake up and go with the flow, and it's just so funny. Like, oh, admire how you did that. And I'm like, oh, do you? Oh, thanks. Like that was like the worst part of me, not even me doing the best part of me. Like, so
But that's how God's giving you strength in those situations, and you're being a blessing to somebody else, because you never
yes.
know who's watching you or when they're watching you. But he gives you the strength to get through every single situation that you're put in. We just have to keep going before him and ask him for that strength to get stronger and stronger in him. And we can overcome every and all obstacles that we're faced with.
Okay.
Yeah, and even like Selena, I ended up like inboxing her a couple of weeks ago because like, and just to tell her watching her journey is like amazing.
That's what I
So,
said. Just from watching her within the past month. That's what I was saying earlier.
and like not just watching it on like watching her grow, but like it blesses me, like literally, like I've been seeing for months like I wanted to start again getting up early in the morning, like not the alarm goes off and then I'm like, okay, what time do I have, like, but no, setting an alarm prior to everything else. And it's like that is my quiet time with God, right? But I ain't going to say I failed. I have been not successful, right? And it's funny because, and don't get me wrong, still, still reading, still going to church, still, right? Still. But watching her and how she just like, she's got her book and she's just like, oh, this is so peaceful. And oh, when you sit with God, this, and it made like she literally refreshed my mind and my heart to what it feels like, because I'm telling you, like, sometimes just even when you're not saying anything, and he might not even be saying anything, but when you are just sitting there, it really feels like the Calgon commercial. Y'all remember the Calgon commercial? Like, Calgon, take me. Like, I'm telling you, like, and Psalms 23 has become one of my favorites. Like, that, like, I'm literally just feeling like I'm laying on just green pastures, like, and I'm sitting on a beanbag chair, but I just feel like,
Yeah, he gives you that peace.
yeah, it's right. It's just such a peace, like just peace. And I like she reminded me. I'm like, listen, like I want that again. I'm going to start doing it, and like, thank God I have been doing it. So yeah, even like, we never know. Like you said, it could just be I'm just posting something, but we don't know what it's doing for somebody else. So it's cool. And that's a prime example of like, when we're the love and the light of Jesus, like, people will begin to see. And like you said, that, like, and it's sometimes, like you say, it's the what we think is the messiest part of us, or was the messiest part of our day. And it's like, why would anybody, or we thought nothing of it, like, but somebody else was blessed by it. Somebody is, blessed by us, just who he's, transforming us, has already transformed us to be. And we know that he's constant, it's a constant process. He, like the Bible tells us, he's going to continue the work that he began in us until Jesus comes. But yeah, so just us walking the walk and just being, sometimes just being, it is you just don't know how you're going to affect somebody in a positive way. So
How's those boards coming along? What you doing over there, Michelle? I
I'm
see you
taking,
working.
yeah, yes. This is it's coming along good. I got good health, sisterhood, uh, get out of your own way and trust your process and run the race.
ooh,
Right. That's a good one.
Accountability partner,
ooh.
start your business. Uh, Equanimity, like I told y'all earlier, and I put life is better when you're laughing,
Ooh.
Yes, it
because
is.
it is. So I
It's
got a few
funny
things here.
you said that. Me and the lady at the Wawa in Westchester was just talking about that, because there is this, oh my goodness, he is so funny. And I found out just randomly overhearing their conversation, he's a believer, because he was talking about last week what he was giving up for Lent. And so it's funny, but every time you go in this Wawa, this man is cutting up, but like in a funny way. Like he's always like loud, always cracking the joke, just he just so him, and it's funny. And so today he was in there being him, and the lady that he worked with, sometimes she just be looking like, oh my goodness. And I was like, I know your day be so interesting working with him. And she was like, yeah, she was like, and it's so funny. She said, because I tell him all the time, like, I leave here like in pain. She was like, from all the laughing that I be doing. And yeah, and she was like, I be so exhausted from just laughing all day. And I was like, well, and we started talking about, well, they say, laughter is good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, the Bible even tells us like laughter is good for the soul. Like, and so she was like, right. So yeah, we were just talking about how laughter, and then when she brought up how like literally they say like even health wise, like statistically health wise, laughing is healthy. They say like even people that laugh live longer, healthier. So I'm like, listen, bring on the jokes, okay? Listen, bring on the jokes, okay? But yes, oh, wait.
I like that finished prayer part. I'm gonna make this side. I'm gonna put the prayers on this side and put the finished prayers on this side.
There
That
you
way,
go.
Ooh.
yeah, I like that finished prayer thing. I like the answer prayer. I like
Yeah,
that.
I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I like that. I like that a lot.
I just want to get this business off the ground, these businesses off the ground, and trusting God and seeing where He wants you to go. That's something that happened with me when Diane asked us to write the book. I never thought about writing no book. I was like, she is out of her mind. But since that, it's like it done opened up something, and it's crazy. Now I'm working in a totally different field than I was working before. I'm a victims advocate, and just working with the kids, working with people and their stories of we work with gun violence. It's crazy in Philadelphia. It's like crazy. But kids don't understand when someone is killed. They're the forgotten mourners. So now I'm working on a book about for the kids to help them understand death because they don't understand. And most of the time we're comforting the mother. We forget about the kids, but the kids are going through that trauma too, and they need They need help understanding that kind of stuff. And it's funny how God just does. He just, if you let him move you, he'll move you right where you're supposed to be. But most of the time, it's us not moving. He keeps telling you, go over there. I can't do that. Yes, you can. Just do it. And then once you do it, it's like, I can do this. So you just gotta trust what he keep. If he keeps showing it to you, move in that direction. Like my son was saying, he keeps going through stuff. It might be a test, son. It might be something you need to learn. So just be quiet. Just be still and just go through it and see. Just watch what's going on. You'll start to see it if it's the same thing happening over and over again. You'll start to see it. You're like, you know what? That was me. I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have just been quiet. But no, I had to have the last word. No, sometimes just be quiet.
Listen, girl. So, listen, you in my business because listen. Okay, but I humbly and I'm God. I'm so thank you. I'm for real, Lord, Holy Spirit, my hope. When I tell you for the last, no, I've been doing better the last 1 or 2 weeks with him. But when I tell you, Michelle, that keep your mouth shut, don't say nothing. And guess who had to say something?
Yep.
Me. And I mean, I literally could just see God up there like,
Uh,
and so me, money. So it's so funny. What do Paul say? I don't understand myself. The very thing I don't want to do, I keep doing. So listen, so I would say something, I would hear something would happen, and my feelings. That's what it was. My
yeah.
feelings, right? I felt something, so now I want to say something, right? And I would hear, don't say nothing. And then sometimes, like, he knew what I wanted. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't
Yep.
text it.
Yep.
And then sometimes I just literally, like, before I knew it, it was out of my mouth. And then, as time went on, I was trying to get better. So sometimes I wouldn't say that, but I would still say something. I was just like, why can't you just not say nothing? Why do you have to say something?
Because we got to.
I just got to. Just got to. And then he just was like, you know what? And he showed me, like, after that last time, like 2 or 3 days, he literally showed me, like, that's pride. Not even
Woo.
like, me, not listening to what he wants me, he's suggesting. Cause like, and literally now I'm not going to speak that because that's going on my vision board. But now I'm somewhere I don't want to be.
Uh-huh.
And partially it is because of some my mouth. Okay. And but even, beyond the, not just going with his suggestion, but literally, like, he showed me that is pride. So like I said, when I feel something and my attitude is like, oh no, I'm seeing something big because ain't nobody gonna think that they could. That's pride. Or let me show, oh, because I could say something too. That is pride.
Yep.
That, and even that feeling, and not seeing disregard my feelings, not seeing, he ain't like, girl, don't nobody care about your feelings. But the reality situation is, like, feelings change. But once you say whatever you say, like, after that little feeling you feeling is gone, you can't be like, okay, I take it back. No, that's it. So that's why now I get it. Because see, I was so like, I want to, I got to, I have to. This needs to be said. This needs to be addressed because it wasn't always being smart.
Right.
Sometimes it was just like, wanting to address them. I never forget. It was so funny. Joyce Myers, she gave a relationship example. She was like, just little things. She was like, every time your husband leaves the socks on the floor, you don't have to say, oh, you like your socks on the floor again. She was like, but that was me. She was like, that was me. Every time Dave left the socks on the floor, even though I picked them up, I had to let him know, oh, I picked your socks up again. And she was like, one day I seen the socks on the floor, and she was like, God was just like, and don't say anything about it. And but she's, it's like, I gotta keep picking up these socks. And what is so hard about you just not leaving the socks? And she said just small stuff like that. And she said, but you know what? That day I picked up the socks, and my husband didn't know that I picked up the socks. See, so just sometimes, like, just something like that. Gotta just let somebody know. And
Yep.
it's, Jesus help us, Lord. Lord. Lord.
I love this. This is just what I needed, guys. Thank y'all.
I need a So, viewers, hello. Thank y'all so much because y'all are here and we love y'all so much. So like we said, participate. Some of you did join us a little later, but yeah, so y'all might not have materials, y'all might not be cutting and pasting like we are, but feel free to just drop in the chat like what are that you don't mind sharing. What are some other things, some of the visions that you have for your 2024? Talk to us. So me, I need to put self-discipline on here for real. So this morning, and it was no coincidence. Yes, it is. Hold on, let me. It is better to be quiet. Okay, it is better to be quiet. It definitely is. It definitely is. And even Proverbs, no, and even beyond. I remember, and he gave it back to me. So James, I believe, what is it? Only one line. It's in James. But where it says, be slow to speak. No, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Uh-huh.
And like, I would just like, you know, just, and that scripture is so powerful. Like, because sometimes even before somebody even finish talking, we already got a response. A lot of times we're not listening to understand, we're listening to respond. And it's like sometimes that has shown me, like, even when you have something to say, and again, it's not like nobody cares what you have to say. And sometimes what you have to say may be very valid, but it's not always necessary. And I'm learning, God, you say it.
Yeah, that's why you have to ask for discernment when you're speaking in a lot of situations, because the way that you might come across to somebody else, yeah, you might be speaking the truth to them, but you want to make sure that you're coming across correctly and not sounding like you're condescending or anything like that. Like, you want to get your point across, but at the same time, there's a right way to say it. So we always have to pray for discernment with things that we say, and wisdom with the way to say it.
Yeah, like I said, but just being real, like, I'm gonna be real. I'm human, and sometimes I pray and I listen, and sometimes before I know and like I said, thank God, because He showed it to me. I care, and it's something that I'm correcting. But yeah, like, and sometimes it might not even be telling somebody about their soul. Like, it could be sometimes I'm just learning, first of all, even God can do things far better than I can. And not just because he's God, but like, even when it's something, it could be it don't gotta be nothing heavy, but something that maybe somebody needs to know. And it's like, they may not be ready to receive it from another human being. You know what I'm saying? They might get it, just whatever, but God knows exactly how to say it, when to say it, or even show them, like, so I'm just like, God, thank you, Holy Spirit, because we all can get better with our mouths. That's why the Bible tells us the tongue, what it say, it's the the smallest yet, but the strongest. Thing like yeah, like so yeah, and I need my device. Yeah, so I thankful. That's why I've not been able to speak to exact so stuff like this, right? So somebody said that's why I have not been able to speak to the big boss because it's not time yet, and I know it won't come out right. God is like, hold up, right. Right. So
Thank you,
it could be
Pamela.
something that
Yep.
needs to be addressed, like somebody absolutely could be in the wrong, or something needs to change or whatever. But sometimes, like I said, God just knows how to do things in a way that we don't, and how he does things is gonna always be effective. Where sometimes, it could be somebody we love. And how many times have somebody said something to us, corrective critics, or just whatever, and we just sometimes because of who it was, you don't want to hear it. You ain't trying to hear it. I think about with kids. It's funny because it could not even like a discipline thing, but like, oh, ain't this cool? Look at this, and they like, but like 2 weeks later, somebody else says, and they're like, oh, there it is. They say, you like, wait a minute, whoa. Wait a minute, because when we was in American Eagle, I pointed out them same jeans, and you was looking at me like, But yeah, so it's funny. Sometimes, sometimes we ain't the ones who say nothing. Sometimes it might they may be more receptive to hear it from somebody else versus from us. For whatever reason, So.
This has been really, really nice. I'm having a
Yes.
really good time, and my board is getting all filled up.
Where is my? Wait a minute. Yes. Hold on, I gotta run and get my charger to my laptop.
I ain't banging around nothing.
My board's getting so filled up. I'm gonna have to find some more space for it.
You're not on social media.
So talk to us, viewers. Are you working on your boards? Do you have any visions for 2024 that you wish to share with us? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know. Hello, Tana Life. Thanks for tuning in with us. We're working on our 2024 visions for the year. How's your board coming along, Michelle?
Good, good, good. I'm gonna be working on this after we get off, but I'm happy with this so far.
Yeah, there's a lot that can be added on.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Let me get some scriptures and write under these words so that I put it with it. Ooh, I needed this.
Yeah, it opens up your eyes to see what you need to do and keep you on the right path. That's for sure.
It's so funny. I found this. This is from 5/29/22. Prepare for it. God,
Yeah.
God says He's coming to visit me and refresh me. And we have 6 points: praying for it, making the necessary changes for it, repent, return to the house of God, reset your affirmations, wait on the visitation, and praise Him till it happens. I was like, how funny I found that.
That's good. You needed that. You got to put
Okay?
that on the board.
It's going on the board. Exactly. Going on the board.
Now you got to use it. There's a reason why you came across it.
Like that's from 2 years ago. It's coming.
Sister Renee said I had got off track with some goals, so getting back to focusing. And that's the way that we need to be. We're never
Yep.
too far gone. We just have to get back on that track and keep on pushing along because God makes a way for us. We're going to face those hardships, we're going to face those troubles, but take heart. Just as Jesus has overcome, we also have that same spirit so that we can overcome. So keep on going, sister. I'm proud of you too. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you just with the struggles that you've been going through, and you're pushing through it. So keep going, Renee. How's your board coming along, Selena? What you got going on?
Sorry, had to mommy for a second.
That's okay.
But it is going good. For those who don't know, I'm a big coffee girly. So I actually found this little, it's 2 cups of coffee, and I just put at the bottom of it, like just fellowshipping, because that's, we're going to do it over coffee. We're going to do, random places and just finding that community. I also just have a picture here. It's just the Bible and a woman with her hands over it. So just to always go to him. I have something here that says seek God. So just always knowing that I can go to him. He's not gone. He's not away. He's always there. So I feel like that's really big. At times I feel like we're like, God, where are you? Why aren't you showing up? But he is showing up. He's just not showing up in the way that you expected him to, because it's not his plan. I feel like a lot of people miss that sometimes. And I recently said in the video I have posted, God isn't showing up for you because you're not showing up for him. And a lot of people don't get that either. Like, God is not going to show up for you. Like, it's a 50-50 relationship. You have to seek him. He's going to, in return, give you your blessings and seek you back. And a lot of people miss that. They just go to him, oh, I'm having a bad week, let me pray. Now all of a sudden that's the only reason why you know God. No, you're supposed to thank him with the good, thank him even for the bad, because it's a part of your path. You never make a U-turn, but you're going to hit bumps. You're going to hit stops. He's not going to open a new door for you right away. Sometimes you have to look for the window or, the note in the room to just continue to progressing forward. So.
And that's what we were saying as far as having that relationship with him, because a lot of people just have that knowledge of him, knowing him. Knowing him's not going to get you into the kingdom of heaven, but you have to have that relationship with him. Once you have that relationship with him, regardless of what you're going through, you'll know that you need to pray to make it through that circumstance that you're in. Right. Otherwise, just knowing him, you're just going to go to him. Like you said, oh, I'm having a bad day. I know that I can go to him. But when you really know him and have that relationship where you're talking to him, he's going to see you through and always be with you.
Yes, I always think to myself, and it's funny, me and my grandma, who's pastor, we always have this conversation all the time, because I'm always like, I get on Facebook and it's always like, someone puts, something they're going through, and that's fine. And then I feel like, people's immediate response is, I'm going to pray for you. Do you actually pray for that person? Like, I feel like some people need a reality check. Like, do we just say it and not do it? Like, we're saying it because it's the right thing to say during that particular circumstance? Or do you take the minute or add them to your prayer list? God, I seen this today. I don't know why they expressed it in this way or told the world in this way, but I hope that, you watch over them or God or seek them.
I feel like what I started doing is praying right then and there. Like if somebody's asking for prayer, that's what I do. And I told Tay about this lady that I went to a store, because I'm always in a store somewhere. There was this lady who I ran into. She was actually a worker there, and her house had burnt down, and she was telling me about that. I took her aside, and I just prayed over her. Like, I don't know if you're a believer or not, but this is what I'm going to do for you. Yeah, because that's what my heart was led to do. Right. And she was like, I've never had anybody do that before. Oh. And that could have changed her life right then and there, just based upon that. But it was just something, like you said, you don't know if that person's going to pray for you or not, just because they're saying it, or else putting up the praying hands. Right. You need to actually act on it.
I feel like that's everyone's like just immediate response. Like, I'm going to pray for you. But did you actually pray for them? Did you set aside a moment to actually pray for them or call them and engage and figure out further what's going on?
Good. Yes. So one of the Bible verses that what we're doing made me think about, and Selena, so like what you said, I I thank God, right? Even yikes. When he wasn't a thought enough in my mind to even, when I open my little eyes in the morning, thank you God, and then go about my day. But thank God he kept me, right? And so it's like you said, it's definitely a two-way street. Like, thank God, yeah, he does cover us in our mess, and it's not to be taken for granted. He does bless us to find our way to him. It's a choice though. He doesn't force us, right? Um, but like there is a way. It can't be like you said, it cannot be a one-sided relationship, because think about our relationships. Like, if they're one-sided, are they successful? No. Do they last? No. Friendships, relationships, whatever, right? And so if we want our relationship God to work for us, if I want to get the fullness of all that God is, if I want to experience him to the full, right? There are, like, I never forget, somebody was like, God is like, listen, you can have as much of me as you want. It's about how much do you want. God is not like, okay, here's a little bit. Oh, I ain't got time for you. Like, listen, we can be as close to God as we want to be. It's up to us. So even it made me like the vision board, with us doing this. Matthew 6:33 was one of the ones I'm putting on my board. Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So, like, that's the key. That's one of the keys to, like, seek God above everybody and everything else. And then my life has no choice but to be in order. Perfect, no. But in order, yes, because then I have the blessed assurance that, like, God, you are ordering my steps. You are in control. And yeah, so yeah. I think, like, a lot of people try to scare people into God. Oh, you going to hell. Now listen, we're not even talking, heaven and hell is absolutely real. Like, and you don't want to get caught slipping. Absolutely right. Um yeah, even beyond it, because what draws us to God? Love. It was love on a cross that had Jesus die for us, right? And I just think, like, it's dangerous. Like, it's literally dangerous, like, to not be doing life with God. Like, when we look at all that is going on around the world, right? And not seeing that stuff still doesn't happen, right? But it's just like, when we're doing life with God, there's a covering over us. But when you're not doing life with God, you're just out here walking wide open, and not just like, the external dangers, but like how even we all go through stuff, even when you come to God. Like, I think about the stuff that happens in my mind, the things that we go through internally and externally. And it saddens me when people don't know, like, there's something for that, there's something for that, when people are just like going through it and life is just like slamming them. And it's like, not even saying you still wouldn't be going through what you may be going through, but like, he makes a difference in every situation. So, like, to me, it's just it's dangerous to definitely yeah, it is. Love is the answer to everything, it is literally. Like, I think about, you just made me think about the Bible verse, faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. Like, look what Jesus, the greatest commandment, his disciples was like, yo, which one of these is the most important? What did he say? Love God and love people. Like, you look at all that other stuff, and you love God and you love people, you gonna get all that other stuff right. So
I feel like people though have this depiction like a Christian should be this, or whatever you believe in, the higher power should be this, and you have to be this, and this person modeled it correctly, and if you're not that, then you're not worthy of him. And people, I feel like, get turned away from church and God for that reason. Like, oh, well, I don't go to church every Sunday, but that doesn't make you a Christian or not a Christian. That has nothing to do with it. Oh, I didn't pray before I eat, so that doesn't, I can't go to him because I don't do this. There's no stipulations to have the relationship with him. You just have to build it. And we're supposed to be getting to know him. So in doing so, you read the Bible or you read a story, or, you're informed about something. But I feel like people get turned away because it's like, oh, well, I don't do that, so I can't talk about God, or I didn't pray, so I can't do that. And it's not that. And a lot of people get turned away. So I feel like a lot of young people too, but I also feel like it's that thing where it's like, it's not cool, so I'm not going to talk about God. And I'm like,
and I ain't gonna lie, like I have, as one of the things that I have to pray about, because it literally makes me mad. And I'm gonna be honest, like, because who other people do that to people.
No, they do, and it's not right.
And sometimes we give these. Listen, God, let me be very careful how I say this right. Sometimes we're always throwing out, yes, real answers, but sometimes just so generic, and we gotta understand, one, everybody ain't where we are.
No.
Everybody doesn't know to pray about it and not worry about it and not be anxious. Sometimes that's not what somebody needs to hear, because they don't know to pray about it.
No,
they don't know they have a heavenly Father, and we throwing up these Bible verses at people.
Yeah, and they're like,
these God quotes. And I'm not saying that God is not powerful, but what about the person that does not know God yet? Yeah. That's no benefit to them. That's a benefit to Michelle because she knows the word. That's a benefit to you because you're getting to know the word. That's a benefit to me because she knows the word. What about the person that does not know the word?
Yeah, you might be the only light they see.
Yeah, and you. Well, and well, you know what you're supposed to do. We all know what we're supposed to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Well, just hold it. And sometimes actions speak so much louder than words. And sometimes a person, I never forget. Oh my God, I forget what Bible story it was in the Bible. And Jesus wasn't like to that woman, and you did this, and you did that, and you did that. That woman already know what she did. She didn't need to hear where she was wrong.
Yeah.
She didn't need nobody reminding her, or would it have helped her?
Right.
Jesus would have been like, yeah, and I'm God, and I know what you did. That's not how he approached her.
Yeah, no.
And he treated her differently than everybody else treated her. He didn't throw up her faults at her. He didn't say, you know better. And guess what we do? And I'm not condoning nothing, but all I'm saying is sometimes we hurt people.
Oh, yeah.
And we turn them away and off from God because of the things that we make. And then we walk around like we don't have bad days. Like we don't never be. Okay, I know the word say don't be anxious and pray about it, but guess what? Sometimes I get anxious.
Yep.
And I got a bottle of ashwagandha on my dresser right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes we gotta stop doing it. We really
there's no perfect right way to do any of this. People jump into this journey at so many different points of their life that, like, yes, we know such and such went through this, but they don't need to hear, well, why'd you do that? And you keep doing that. And God's going to do, no. Why don't you say, here's a man who is going to sit with you, and you ask him to show up, during that moment with you, and pray about it. Pray about it. Pray about the path he's already set, because he already knows what you did. I always like to say, he's not going to make a U-turn. He's going to bump you along. If you got to keep making bumps to get there, I'll take 1,000 bumps if it means at the end of my journey, I get my blessing, or, at the end of my final day, I get to go home and be at rest. So, like, I'll take all the bumps. I'll take all the, like, he's not just, here you go. You prayed for the lottery here. Here you go.
Yeah.
You pray for the lottery. Here you go. Like, I'm just going to give it to the whole world. Like, doesn't work like that. Like, he's going to bless you in other ways. One of the things I learned this year, and it's been like real heavy on my heart, is just less is more. I don't need to have all this stuff to be happy. My kids don't need to have all this stuff to be happy. Not saying they're very much so spoiled, but they don't need the toy at the Target at that moment to be happy. Guess
Right.
what? They're going to be upset about it, but guess what? We're going to go and we're going to have a nice lunch, or we're going to have this. And they'll understand one day later, having that meal might have been more important than the toy that day. You know, like, we always want to fill our lives with more and more and more. What does it do for you, though? It's not doing anything for me. Oh, such and such got this, or they can afford that. That's great for them. What did that $1,200 bag do for you? Because I prayed to God once or twice and I got a blessing. I'm just going to walk around with the bag now. What did it do for me? Nothing. I want to be perfect and in trends. I don't want to be in the trend. Very much so out of it. Like, but like, I'm just learning that. And I feel like, you know, people are always trying to upgrade their house and da-da-da. And at this point, I'm just happy I have a house. I got water on. I got lights on. I got TVs that work. My kids have clothes. We got shoes. You know, we have what we need. We have enough.
Right.
We take that greed and we want more. And that's when stuff just doesn't go right, because that's not how we should live.
Listen, you said, and even like when I was seeing, you know, when God showed me, you know, the pride thing, because not pride is not always look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just like me being in myself. You see what I'm saying? So even with the more thing, you know, sometimes we think like more is like being greedy and always wanting like more physical. And God showed me, and I was like, well, God, so like there's been things that I'm praying about, right? And so let's say last week it was like on one, wasn't nothing shaking. The situation was straight. The situation was not situating. It was not situated at all. And you know, I'm praying about it. And so, you know, a week later, you know, maybe it's at a better place, you know, just a little bit better than it was last week. And not even on purpose, but later on, you know, I'll be, oh, I just wish things were the way that they used to be, or I wish things were like this. And it's like, wait, well, what happened earlier?
Mm-hmm.
And isn't earlier better than what you were?
Right.
Oh, I just, and nothing's, how do I say it? Nothing's wrong with that, but it is something wrong with it. Because it's like, right? And being grateful of the day to day instead of, you know, it's not what I want it to be yet. But yo, rejoice in, you know, to the degree or the level yet. But still look what is happening. God is doing something. Something is happening. And so perfect example, not being so pressed about the destination, but thanking God on the way to the destination. You know what I'm saying? Thanking and not just noticing, but also you know, mention like, God, I see what you did today, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that. You know, like I thank you for that. So
living in the moment is a real thing. Like, when you're able to live in the moment and God takes all of that anxiety and worry about tomorrow that we shouldn't be doing, and you just live in the moment, you're like, wow, this is enjoyable. You know what I mean? I'm not stressed right now. I'm actually living in this moment and partaking in, you know, whatever activity it is, and you're just physically and mentally there, because people can show up a lot of times physically, but mentally are not there, and we're doing a lot of head shaking. Okay, and but we're not mentally there or enjoying the time because we're worried about tomorrow or later on that night.
And that's a perfect example. So that's what you said. I just so I started, once upon a time I had a different therapist, and she told me about like being in the moment, right? Like really being in the moment. It was so funny because like the first couple of days I felt kind of silly, but like as I started doing it, I'm telling you, it like, and matter of fact, I want to start doing it again. Um, it like it takes your gratitude to a whole nother level. So she was like, you know, when you're eating, she's like, because we just be eating. She was like, but take the time to taste the food. She was
Enjoy
like,
it.
not
Yeah.
just like, okay, you're tasting the cheeseburger. She was like, but like, it was so funny. She was like, but sit there and be like, oh, I think I taste, you know, black pepper. Oh, I think I taste this. I think I taste that.
No, but it's
She was like,
real.
yeah.
Real.
And
I
so
It's
he was like,
no, it's so real. It's so
yeah.
real.
And she was like, when you brush your teeth in the morning, you know, like, duh, that's something you've been doing for 20, 30, 40 years. You could do it without thinking. She was like, but no, think about what you're doing. Cause that was just like a way of being in every single moment, everything that you,
No, yeah, it's
it
so
was like
important.
even the car ride, when you're on your way to work, we're just like, I got to get to work. We're not even, yeah, of course, we're looking at the road, we're paying attention, but we're not even paying attention. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're just riding. We're not really on the ride. We're just
But
like,
that's doing stuff out of habit instead of
Yeah.
being intentional
right,
about it.
right. And so I remember real quick, this pastor said, and like you said, we miss things. We miss things
Mhm.
like so the journey. Like, so it was funny because he said how he was going somewhere to speak and he was running late. He was like, so y'all, I was aggravated. I was irritated. I think he said like maybe I don't even remember, like, but hypothetically, he was like he had one mode of transportation set up, but then he ended up having to drive, and so that really set him back or whatever. So he was like, so you know, now I'm just like, I gotta get there, I gotta get there, I gotta get there. So I'm riding. I finally eventually get there after, you know, a couple hours or whatever. He said, and you know, I get to the church and I meet the lead pastor, and he's like, oh, how was your drive? Did you see those mountains? And he was like, what mountains? And he said, the pastor was like, what? You didn't see those mountains? They were so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Like, those are that's the best part of the ride coming here. And he was like, no, I didn't see him because he wasn't even paying attention. He was just, I gotta get there, I gotta get there, I gotta get there. And he was like, I missed out on something beautiful because I was just so worried about getting there. And there were beautiful things for me on, like, you know, on the way to the journey. Like, so yeah. So help us, Lord. But yeah, y'all, this has been so fun. I cannot believe what time it is because it don't even feel like it.
Oh,
I know. I really thank you for the invite because,
Yeah.
like, this is even like a step for me. Like, okay, I just sat here, and while I can't see anybody who's watching because I'm on my phone, it's just like I accomplished something, and that's like talking about God, talking about situations, just out loud and like whatever. I don't care. You liked it, you didn't like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't have that like whatever. I talked
Freedom.
about it. I fellowshipped. I made this board, like, so. I really do appreciate it.
Come back anytime.
you
Yes.
Seriously, yeah. Yeah. Like, listen, if you ever see our flyer, and Michelle, you too. Look, viewers, y'all be playing because we be trying to reel y'all in. Like, if you see the flyer and you see the topic and you be like, oh, I'm trying to get in on a conversation. Like, listen, hit me up and I must throw you the link.
We
Okay.
will tune you in. Come
Quick,
on,
fast,
have a
and
seat at the
hurry.
table. Like we said, there's a seat for everybody. Come
Yeah,
and
like
join
I
us.
think those are our best. And thank you God because all of our shows are amazing. But I think that those are like when we have guests and we have somebody join us in the conversation. Like, it's just because it's different perspectives, it's different insight, different voices, different wisdom, different insights. So yeah, those be our most fire shows. So yes. But yes, we look, you thanking us. We thank y'all so
Of course.
much
Yes, y'all are amazing.
yeah.
Each
for
and every single one of you.
being willing to join us, talk with us. let us know a little bit about what you are believing God for. Thank you for y'all sharing, just sharing y'all, sharing yourselves with us, sharing yourselves with our viewers. We
Sharing your
appreciate,
time with us.
yeah,
Yes.
on a
Yeah.
Friday, on a Friday at that. Thank you to all the viewers. Y'all listen, y'all bye to y'all through the screen. Listen, more of this because y'all got the chat just popping and I love it. I
All
love it.
night
I can't
long.
wait to go back and watch
Yes, yes,
and see
yes.
everybody's comments.
You must, you must, you must. Yes, I love it. Shout out to Instagram. I can't even see who's on. Honestly, I don't even really know how it works. I just know that we're on. Only
It's
we
all new to us.
only
But
only
like us,
episode
share us.
2 of us Instagram allowing our face to be up in the place. Okay, so shout out to Instagram. Yes, you have a great night too. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
That's a
So,
nice board,
if,
Michelle. I see
yeah,
you.
child, I'm not putting my board up because
I still got some work to do, but I
me
really like this.
too. I do. But you know what? I have never. I can't like. Let me not act like I did a bunch in my life. I have never finished one in one sitting. I've never. I haven't. Maybe somebody has. I haven't. And so it is tonight.
Keep
Yeah.
working on it.
Yeah, yeah. But that's good because that means like I'm really, you
You're
know.
dedicated to it.
Yeah, right, right. I ain't just yeah. But this was amazing. This was fun. I ain't gonna lie. I want to be like, come on, let's do a part 2, but we cannot wait a month to finish our we cannot wait another month to finish them. So, but yes, thank y'all.
Thank
If
you so
if
much.
you if it's
Mine's
not
getting filled. It's getting filled.
Oh, you
you
were
did all that right now.
Yes,
wow.
ma'am. I was
That was
busy.
good. Yes, you
What
was.
in the
I was busy.
what in the world? No, who is over there helping you cut and paste? Because there is no way.
Me, myself, and I. Look, any left-handed people out there, y'all know how we are with this hand.
What in the Edward Scissorhands? Like, what in the world?
Yep, that's what I was over here doing. That's why I was so quiet, y'all, because I was working.
You know, I'm not.
Focus.
Uh-uh.
It's good
Oh
to see.
my.
But yes,
Well,
this has truly been a blessing. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your feedback, for your comments, for watching us, for tuning in. For our special guests, Michelle and Selena, thank you so much for being here with us this evening and blessing us with your presence. And hopefully, our visions that we have here, we walk in the path to be able to make these things happen so that we're blessed in abundance beyond what we even put down here. So that's my prayer over everybody, that we're blessed in abundance, because that's what the Lord will want for us when He blesses us.
yes, indeed. And so if you are not a first timer, you all know that how we end the show with our Kingdom Jam of the Week. So do not click off yet because we're gonna rock out. And this song, this is my song, and I was like, oh God, I'm hyped because it's so appropriate for what we're doing tonight. Yeah, so stick around, listen to the Kingdom Jam of the Week, like of the month. Oh God, oh, announcement, you guys. So moving forward, we will only be I'm in a different season in my life. Um, and yeah, in many ways. And so we will now be on only the fourth Friday of every month. So yes, but of course you will always be made aware of when we are coming before you. But yes, yes. But yeah, so like I said, stick around. Guests, don't leave just yet. There's an after party backstage. But yes, yes, we love y'all. We thank y'all so much. Um, whatever your vision is, whatever your heart's desires for your year and just even beyond your life. Um, may God do it according to his riches and glory, And God, we just thank you for who you are, what you've done, what you're going to do. And yeah, may our desires align with yours just. So we're gonna get into this Kingdom Jam of the week. And like I said, ladies, we will see y'all backstage. Yes, viewers, hold tight. Don't leave yet.
Some Duke on the vibe.
Blessing, morning, testimony. Gonna follow to the top. This year, good news, giant, testimony. Gonna follow. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Even before you call, you don't answer. I'm too far, you don't feel far. Even before you call, you don't answer. My Baba, I'm too far. Blessing, money, testimony. Gotta follow you to go. This year, good news, giant testimony. Follow,